Now we are talking about very air slim,
Yeah.
something that is very
I mean, there's some which are almost like a
a frame, actually,
yeah, frame TV.
Yeah, exactly. We do have frame TVs, which you really cannot even tell it is a TV.
Shelmith, karibu, and this is Not So Techy. And today we'll be discussing about basically the whole experience of having a TV and how it feels. And we have Shelmith from Samsung who's going to be giving us stories about the same thing. Karibu, Shelmith. And just introduce yourself.
Yeah. I'm Shelmith, as you have rightfully said.
Yes.
I am a salesperson at Samsung. I'm in the department of consumer electronics. So in that department, we have many products. Among them is televisions.
Okay.
We also have audio systems, things like sound devices, sound bars. And then we also have home appliances. So in home appliances, that's where we have your fridges, we have the washing machines, we have the microwaves. Yeah. So in a nutshell, that's what consumer electronics is about.
Yeah. So ideally, when a TV is a centerpiece for any home. And back then, when we were growing up, TVs used to be these large boxes. I remember we used to have one big, kabati. It used to be like a big cupboard right in the corner of the house, black and white. And then, of course, we got to the TVs with the big humps. Just the other day, we were just having a conversation with a friend about how there used to be a TV menu. I don't know, that's a time which you got to enjoy TVs.
Yeah.
So like, how was it for you growing up? Like, what's your experience?
Yeah, so it's the same thing as you're saying. I grew up, first of all, even those days, owning a TV was really for the few, the few who had made it that time.
Yeah.
And therefore, the first time I interacted with a TV, it was the big box with two areas. And then it had the red color at some point, I think, at the body.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's where we used to watch our KBC was actually the thing that time. Yeah, so and I have seen let me call it the evolution of TVs from there to having now LED TVs, and now we have what we are calling the QLEDs, the QLED TVs, and now the new QLED TVs.
Yeah.
So all this journey about TVs, it is something that I've closely watched.
Okay.
And you can just see from where we started from the big back to now we are talking about very air slim, something that is very.
I mean, there's some which are almost like a
frame, actually,
frame TV.
Yeah, exactly. We do have frame TVs, which you really cannot even tell it is a TV. So it's a very interesting journey to come from that box that we knew those days to now seeing what the technology has given us.
Yeah, because back in the day, I think somewhere around like in the 98 World Cup, I think that was a time when TVs were became a mainstream thing.
Yeah.
You'd find guys you go to your neighbor's home for all of you because they have the color TV.
Yes.
So everyone is there.
Yes.
You're all there to watch TV. But then now, TVs are a very common part of our houses.
Yes.
And one of the things that comes to mind is how much they have changed the way even we enjoy entertainment. So, like at Samsung, how does that work for you, especially doing sales? Like how has that changed the way you guys are able to to just position TVs?
Yeah. So you see, as the technology is changing, also the consumers are also going with the technology. So you find that now people come to buy the TV knowing what they want because of what we have connectivity amongst ourselves. So by the time I am approaching any shop, I know that I'm going for a TV that is very slim, because I don't want something that is too bulky, something that will give me a headache to do installation. So the design, first of all, is what attracts the consumer. And then, of course, now we are also looking at the picture quality. You will find that, people can now tell that if I go for this brand and this other brand is going to give me better image, better clarity. And that's what we want.
Yeah.
You want, when you're sitting to watch a TV, you're seeing an image that is so real.
Yes.
The color is so real. If it is black, it is true black. If it is white, it is true white. So that is what people are looking at. And then, of course, everybody wants a good sound. you want to be sitting somewhere.
Exactly.
And you're watching news. The sound is good. You don't struggle to hear. You don't lose, the content at some point.
Yeah.
So I would say people are coming looking for good design. Most of them, the slimmer the better now.
Yes.
Of course, now sound is one thing they're also looking at, and also now the fact that they're also looking for something that is also able to give them the connectivity. Because we are now using the smartphones, I am also looking at a television that can actually also communicate.
Sync with your phone.
Sync with my phone. Yeah.
And I mean, of course, with that evolution, we've got all this tech. I remember one of the TVs that I owned, which I really enjoyed, was a Samsung Plasma TV because of the deep blacks. But then, of course, we've come a long way from that to now the LCD panels, where we have things like the OLEDs and the QLED TVs, and now I think Neo QLEDs. So maybe, like, if you were to sell to me why I should get a Neo QLED TV, like what would you tell me? Makes it stand out from me going out and getting, just a normal LED TV.
Yeah. So what we need to know for a company like Samsung, technology is at the heart of what we do. Yeah. So for QLED TVs, what we use is something called quantum dots. Quantum dots is what gives you that perfect image. It is a technology that is only belongs to Samsung. Nobody else has it. Even those other QLED TVs you're seeing in the market, they're just putting a sticker and telling you they are QLED TVs. But for sure, they are not using the technology of quantum dots. And quantum dots basically is what is giving you the very sharp image. So the image resolution is none like other. You cannot find it elsewhere.
And how would I know that, this is a quantum dot TV? Let's say I went out and I wanted to find out, is there a way that I would be able to differentiate that this is actually a QLED compared with, say, just your regular TV with a speaker?
Yeah. The good thing is in most of the shops or showroom selling, they will not only have Samsung, most of them are also doing multiple brands. So for any consumer, those consumers who are keen and they know what they want, they will say, I want to see Samsung QLED. And they will say, I want to see another company, maybe let's call it company H or company X, QLED TV. And if these two TVs are presented to the consumer, they will be able to pick it. They will tell that Samsung is the one that is giving me the sharpest image. It's giving me the quality of pictures that I want. By just looking at the two TVs at the simultaneous
side by side.
Yeah, side by side, you're able to pick those basics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So of course, with the evolution of screens, so we have our phones, especially, like with Samsung phones, they have really good AMOLED panels, which are really crisp. But that also came with how we now consume entertainment. So you find, like for you, there's a way your kids want to enjoy their TV.
Yeah.
How does that play into basically owning a better or a sharper TV, compared with, does it, make it more engaging, or is it the TV too,
Yeah. So let me say it is no longer just a TV. It's becoming part of our lives, daily lives, let me say that. One thing that I've really enjoyed, having a QLED TV in my house is the fact that, because our family has got young kids, and now there's also me and their father. And the fact that our own Samsung QLED TV provides you with a split screen means that I could be watching my CNN, and my kid, on the other hand, would be watching something on YouTube or even playing their games on Roblox. And we are using the same screen.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that I found very engaging. And then the other aspect is the ability to accommodate the different tastes and preferences within us, within like my own family.
Yeah.
So, for example, kids will use the TV for education materials. They are going to also use it to entertain themselves, gaming, and all those other aspects. For me, as their mom, I would be interested in things like health applications that are available in smart TVs.
Okay.
Other things like cooking, where I really love cooking, and this kind of television is able to get us some apps that are focused on things like.
You mentioned something interesting, the health side. So, like, maybe you can just talk a bit more about how that comes into play.
Yeah. So for me, right now I'm really focused on fitness, not just for myself but for the whole family. So one thing that I found quite useful in the current revisions is something like the Samsung Health app. So the Health app application is able to help you to track some things, like for example things like walking, things like pulse rate. You can be able to track things like sleep on it, and basically how your general health is doing using these kind of applications. The other thing is that I found very interesting is something like Technogym. Technogym is also an application that is inside. It's available on the television, and this is where, if for example I'm interested in something like yoga, I just need to go to that app, and it's going to guide me. And on the other hand, I am having my mat and doing the yoga. Or if I need maybe to focus on cardio, then I can also get cardio from the television.
Without having to pay for a
Yeah,
subscription.
exactly. I don't have to go to the gym. I have the gym right in the house,
at home,
provided by the TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good feature because, of course, a TV being such a central point of the home,
Yeah.
The integration of a lot of that kind of tech and things that are actually supposed to help us makes it then something that makes it worth considering. Because again, TVs have been viewed as one way of being very lazy because you end up just being a couch potato. But then you see when you have things, like you're saying, like the health focused apps, it makes it better because then you can use the TV for more than just binging on your series.
Yeah.
So with Samsung TVs, you find that as much as they play a central point in entertainment, one of the things that is important is also gaming, because a lot of people are now beginning to adopt gaming as a thing that they enjoy at home. So, how does a Samsung QLED TV basically, make that experience better? Things like the motion rates and how does it affect how people are able to, say, just get into gaming modes? Are these things that are actually on the TV?
Yeah. So, yeah, as you said, we've seen evolution of or an increase in consumers who are looking for a TV that can also serve them for gaming purposes. So one thing we are able to provide the Samsung is high motion rate. Yeah, because for gamers, speed is very key. And the sluggishness or the slowness of the images, it is not something they would be looking for.
Yes.
And therefore, for us, we're able to provide that very unique technology, which is able to provide the gamers with high motion rate, so that they enjoy the gaming and they are able to really feel engaged in the in the gaming sessions. In the gaming sessions. Yeah.
Okay. And now when it comes to just lifestyle use, so maybe you have a TV in the kitchen, so that maybe you're following your cooking recipes. So how does that work for you? And maybe to a consumer who's looking to have a TV in their kitchen, how does it? Is there a difference? Why shouldn't I just go and buy just a normal LED TV? And what makes a QLED TV a better TV beyond? Yeah.
Okay. So what makes it stand out? QLED TV stand out is the fact that it will give you applications that are very useful to our to a family in terms of what the family needs to eat, or the food that any family would be looking at eating. So for example, there's apps like cooking apps that are very useful. And I would be having the TV. I would know what kind of ingredients I need. Or even before now coming to using the TV, like while doing the actual cooking, those same apps are able to guide me. If tomorrow maybe I want to make a very nice dish of an Asian dish, for example, I would be able to know in advance what kind of ingredients I need, and therefore I'm able to also prepare in advance. So now when it comes to the actual cooking, I'm able to trace some of those cooking recipes that are there, and actually do the actual cooking while watching on those apps. Yeah. And therefore, some TVs are even able to help you with things like you're able to track, like say if you're tracking things like what
quantities and
food quantities, things like carbohydrates you're supposed to take, what kind of the portions of proteins or even vegetables that you're supposed to take. Those apps are also able to guide you in being able to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, cost is a big factor. And a QLED TV is definitely not a cheap buy. So what is it that Samsung does that would make me think, okay, maybe in as much as the cost is not, down here, this is still good value for my money. So is there anything that you do beyond, say, the warranty? And also, how long is your warranty? Like, how long will you get my TV covered?
Yeah. So because QLED TVs are premium TVs, of course, warranty will be 2 years to be 24 months warranty. And then now to answer the second part of your question is the way Samsung has integrated the needs of a family into a TV, so that we are not just looking as a TV as that thing we just put on the wall and watch news and shut it down and go to bed. But this is something we are actually interacting with. If it is my children, they can come from school, they can use the TV for their educational purposes. I've seen in cases where even teachers are telling children, today for your homework, I want you to go and watch a video on, say, how to do planting, how to plant trees. And you find that this TV is going to help them to even understand step by step what the teacher asked them to do. And then after that, they are also able to summarize what they learned and put it in writing, which I found very useful to kids. So that is the educational part. Again, also when it comes to things like just keeping them entertained, they're able to watch different cartoons if they want. They can access YouTube, where they can also access many things. They can access games, they can access videos, and actually just keep them engaged. And also now for us who are adults, I've talked about things like, useful things like apps that are very useful to our lives, including the things like health apps. Others would be lifestyle apps, It would be that I just want my Netflix and the TV, because it's able to provide me, to have that Netflix app. I'm able to engage with the TV and actually integrate it also as part of my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you've mentioned about this being a premium TV, maybe you can just tell us, is there anything more that you do, especially in terms of like support, after sales support, especially if I were to get a QLED TV?
Yeah. So for us, we have something called signature service.
Okay.
And this is post sales service that we offer to our customers who buy premium TVs like what we are talking about today. So for example, if you buy our QLED TV, for deliveries and installations and also user guidance within Nairobi area, we do it for free.
Okay.
So we will have somebody deliver the TV to your home, do the installation for free. And also before that person leaves, they are going to train you on the usage of that TV. Why do we do all these things? Because we have seen in cases where people buy these kind of premium TVs, but they do not fully utilize the televisions.
Okay.
So when we do the training on site, we are able to assist the consumer to even develop, to discover more things that they would have done on their own before we leave. And therefore, this helps them to actually also being able to fully engage, fully utilize, and fully enjoy this premium TV that they have invested in.
That's an interesting thing because, of course, when most of us get TVs, the first thing you're looking for is the guy who's going to install a TV for you. And more often than not, sometimes the TV's mounted sideways. So actually hearing that you're able to provide installation service, I think that's actually a really good support service. And what about if someone is not in Nairobi? That one is nothing for you?
So even those ones are catered for. Even those ones outside Nairobi, we've got our toll-free line, which they can call at any one time, and somebody on the other end will be willing to assist them.
Okay.
Yeah, and that number is 0800 545 545.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And any specific reason why I should not buy a QLED from competitors? Maybe I'll find it being a bit cheaper or something like that.
Yes, absolutely. There is every reason to only go for Samsung QLED TV, because we are the only company that is providing real QLED televisions. What do I mean by that? We use a technology called quantum dots technology. This is a technology that is only unique to Samsung. It is only Samsung that is able to provide. And there is no QLED TVs without quantum dots technology. So there could be many other televisions out there labeled QLED TVs, but they are not using the quantum dot technology. So, and what do we get by quantum dot technology? We are able to give you 100% color volume. And what we mean is that when you are watching your television, you are able to enjoy realistic images, vivid images, clear images. As I talked about deep blacks and deep whites. So there's no in between for us. So, and the other thing that we have also done is that our QLED TVs are also cadmium free, and cadmium is a metal that is harmful. Long-term exposure to cadmium metal can cause, cancer later in life. So what we have done, we are not like other companies that are not removing cadmium. We are able to remove that, and therefore what we are exposing to our consumers is a risk-free, is a safe TV.
Okay.
Yeah, safe TV. Of course, there's a cost aspect to it, and that's where many other brands are not able to remove. So they release the product to the market. It is unsafe for consumers to use because there's a cost aspect which they do not want to incur. But for us, we've gone the long haul. We have removed it because we want to give a safe television for our consumers.
Okay. I think this was quite informative, and thank you for your time. And just before we go, what are you currently watching on TV?
Actually, just before that, let me tell you about why anybody looking to buy a TV should not even think twice, but rather go straight into buying a Samsung QLED TV. There's something we call NOx security. In this current world that we are living in, we are very connected. You're connected from your phone, you're connected to your TV, you're connecting the same to your washing machine, to your refrigerator. Like your life is fully connected to so much. So in this case, the issue of security becomes very key. And what we have done as Samsung is we've provided our consumers with a NOx security system. So what this system is able to do is able to make sure that your information, or rather the information that comes from you to the devices, to the gadgets that you're using, is safe and is not also vulnerable to hackers. Okay. For example, I would give an example of something like Netflix. If you're paying for a Netflix service, most likely you would be using your card, and that means you're keying in your personal data. So there's a risk if that same data lands into somebody's, say even a hacker's hands. What happens? Your account will be swept clean. We've had those cases where people have lost money through through televisions. Let me just put it as plainly as that, because we are feeding our own personal data in, paying for those services, and this lands into bad people's hands, and then what happens? Your account is swept clean, and so there's the issue of security now becomes big from there. So we have been able to make sure that we have end-to-end encryption of your data, okay. And therefore it is safe.
This is a standard service.
Yeah, this is standard service that comes with our televisions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So back to what you're watching.
Yeah. So let me say, for me, what's happening globally is very key. So if I'm not watching, if I'm not on the health apps or Technogym, I am probably going to be caught on CNN or BBC.
Okay.
While they are,
so no series.
Yeah, no series for now. No series for now. Oh. Yeah.
Right, and that's it for today. We were with Shelmith from Samsung, and she was just taking us through what exactly is the experience like when you decide to own a QLED TV, and what are the additional services that Samsung is able to provide you with. So we'll catch you on the next episode of Not So Techy. See you then.